Okay, and we're live. Back up. All right. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Comments. So I forget, we do not have to go into YouTube, correct?
No.
No, not anymore.
And
Okay.
I just got the notification that we went live, so
Awesome.
it is working.
Yay. So I think we both finished the book today.
Yes. As per usual.
Yeah.
Um, First question. Did you cry?
No.
I didn't cry, but I was like choked up because it was such good writing at that
Yeah.
crucial moment that I was like,
So, well, okay. What did you rate it?
I'm going to say either a 4 or a 4.5. Probably a
Okay.
4.5.
Yeah, I'm going with a 4.5 as well.
So what did you not like? What did you not get?
So I did not like the romance between Henry and Addie.
Why?
Oh, I just got a spam risk. What?
Why?
I don't know. I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't. I didn't ship them. I didn't really like their relationship. I don't know. I just didn't feel it. So I think maybe that's why I didn't really care so much about the ending. Like I actually loved the ending. I loved how it ended. And like the fact that they weren't together, like I was okay with. And I was actually expecting him to die because I heard everyone was crying. But I think maybe like that's what I prepared myself for, but I just didn't really care so much for the relationship that I was just kind of like, yeah,
So, for lack of a better term, by the way, if y'all don't know, we're discussing
oh yeah,
the Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by
I'm
B.H.
so sorry.
I
Yes,
realized we
well,
didn't go over
welcome
this.
to welcome to the live show.
Yes. Full spoilers,
Yes,
obviously.
yeah.
Um, what did you, for lack of a better term, the darkness, the darkling? In my head, like as I was going through, I just kept saying the darkling.
The Darkling. See, I
Yeah.
didn't get that. I
Well, I'm not sure what just happened to Gabby. This has never happened before. Um, so if you guys are still seeing me, uh, we will reconvene. And okay, Gabby accidentally exited out. Um, and she's trying to join back in. Okay, how funny. Hi, Meg. I'm glad you got the message. I suck at responding to Twitter, so I completely like.
sorry.
There she is. I suck at responding to Twitter, so I didn't realize that you had messaged me about when the live show was. So I'm glad that you like connected it through that it was right now, or that you just got my message. Oh, how funny!
I'm sorry, guys. I was trying. I didn't mean to exit out.
I'm sure that like replay is going to be hilarious because you were talking and I went. Um. Oh, so the Darkling. Because like he's made out of the darkness, and like
Yeah.
I just kept associating the Darkling with this guy, and so I just kept saying that in my head that this was the Darkling. Did you ship the Darkling and Addie together?
Oh, I kind of wanted her to be alone.
Which is totally valid.
Like, I didn't necessarily ship them, but like more than her and Henry. I'm actually like, I prefer that they ended up together versus her and Henry. And it's a very interesting dynamic. It's a very like Stockholm syndrome.
So which one do you think is more toxic, Henry or the Darkling?
Oh, definitely the darkness.
Yeah,
Luke, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
But
definitely more toxic.
was
But
Luke a real name, or is that just what she called him?
I don't know. I think that's what she called him.
So that's why I was like, you're just making up a name. Like that's not even his real name. That's why I think I latched onto the Darkling.
That's funny.
Make comment on like what you rated this. I'm assuming you've read this, and so this is fully spoilery. So um, yeah, definitely the darkness is way more toxic. I think that I didn't necessarily love Henry and Addie's personalities together, so I
Yeah.
didn't ship them as hard, but I shipped their their situations together. It's very weird to say that, but like their curses together fit so perfectly, and like they just like both satiated a need that each of them needed, and so I just like felt relief with that relationship. So I like shipped them because of that.
Yeah. No, I agree. And then actually, did you see him having made a deal? Like, did you see that coming? See, I
Oh
didn't. Oh, I didn't see it coming at all. I was like so shocked. Hi.
oh
I
yeah,
was I was
his
so
story.
shocked. Yeah, when she started telling him his story and then he starts laughing and he's like, "I made a deal too." I was like, "Wait,
Oh
what?"
no no, I knew from the moment that he like remembered her in the bookstore. I was like, oh crap, he's been cursed too.
Oh, see, I didn't think that at all. I thought it was just gonna be like some like non
Like
like the chosen one to be the one that like he's the only one and there's no explanation why he can, you know, um remember her. And I wasn't expecting that he was cursed as well.
so, are you glad that he was cursed as well? Like, do you like
Yeah.
that? Oh, I do too. I thought
Yeah.
that was such a good
Absolutely.
like intricacy
Yeah.
in there. Were you expecting that he only made a deal for a year though?
No.
That kind of crushed me.
A little bit, yeah.
Like at that moment, I was like,
Yeah, I think I was more sad for Addie than I was for Henry because I don't know, for some reason I didn't like jibe
no, I
with
totally
him.
felt more sad
I
for him.
couldn't really connect to Henry as much. So I felt way more sad for Addie. Um, but yeah,
What do you think about the side characters?
I like B. She's great.
I felt like a little like they were a little bit flat though.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think I knocked off points for there. And this is definitely like it's such a different book
It really is.
from
Yeah.
anything else. So
Like,
it's like I knocked off because it's like not a ton happens in this
mhm.
book, but it's all very intricate in the same breath. It's very interesting dynamics.
Yeah, there's no like typical plot. Well, I would say, um,
Like tropes and stuff.
yes, and like there's not that typical like I guess not crescendo, but like that
Writing
peak.
pattern,
The
yeah.
Yeah, like the climax and then you get the resolution. It I feel like more like the main plot twist was that he was cursed for a year, but we got that towards the end, like the very last fourth of the book, essentially. Maybe
And
even less than that, that she
she
found out.
she did it so well that it's not like you're reading a fantasy book that you feel
Mhm.
like everything hit at the end. It didn't feel
Yeah.
like that. It felt very well balanced.
It felt like you were actually reading like a memoir.
Yeah, it felt very vivid and real. I really
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, I liked the back and forth as well. And it was interesting because like you are introduced to some of these characters and it's like, oh, are these characters get like Toby? You think he's gonna be like the main love interest, and turns out he's not. It was very much a memoir.
Yep.
And I think she did it really well, which is why I'm kind of okay that some of the side characters fell a little flat because that's what happens. Like when you read an autobiography or a biography or a memoir from someone, not every person has a huge significant impact on everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And especially because of their curses, like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they are kind of moving either at slow speed or hyper speed, so they're like on a different level. So like everything has
Yes.
to be a bit flat because they are so much different than in time. I don't know if that's
Mm-hmm.
just crazy ramblings or if you understand that.
No, no, I get it. Yeah, no, I definitely, yeah.
But I
So,
think that's why all of the characters felt like they were a bit flat because they were supposed to be kind of like they're sequestered on an island,
mm-hmm.
versus everybody else is keep living their life in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. I also really loved that um, the writing style. I love this is my first V.E. Schwab book, and her writing style is just it's awesome. I loved it.
It's
It
very different.
it flows so well. It reminded me a lot of kind of like a mixture between Maggie Stiefvater a little bit and Carrie Maniscalco a
Yep.
little bit, kind of a more of Carrie Maniscalco vibe. But I got a lot of like those powerful quotes where she and then she like is able to bring in a lot of things that we talk about today, you know, in historic. It's just interesting that like this book is like both historical fiction and not at the
Yeah.
same time, you know?
Um, I don't know how legitimate this is, so don't come for me if this is completely wrong. But we
Oh.
were like at work, we were talking about this like on a conference call, this particular book, and the one of the home office people who like are one of the big buyers, she was saying this book is actually her B. Schwab's first book that she had ever written and never got published. So she
Oh.
wrote this before everything else, which I find is very interesting because I like this a lot better than anything else I've written or I've read by her. I've not read all,
Really?
but I like this better. So it's just interesting that this was her first.
It doesn't feel like a debut novel. It feels like a very well like sophisticated book. Like
Well,
it
this
doesn't.
she may have like edited it into be,
Oh,
like,
yeah. So
but
maybe it was like
it's
the
her
first
first.
story or like her first plot that she ever came up with. She just never actually like sat down and finished it.
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure she had to edit it out, like edit it through and
That's
things
an
like that.
interesting that's an interesting thought. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that until like literally this week, and I was like, oh wow,
That's really cool.
yeah. Would you be interested in reading other things by her?
Yeah, I think so. I really like her writing style.
I have Darker Shade of Magic on audiobook.
Oh yeah, I think I may want to listen to that. But first I'm gonna Kingdom of the Wicked.
Oh yeah, yes, yes. So speaking of, that is our next book club pick. Very excited.
I'm so
Sure,
excited. I'm
sure
so
you're down for
excited.
it.
I know, I already got it on audiobook. I'm so ready.
Yep. And if y'all have watched my vlogs, or my most recent vlog, I show that I just picked up that one, and also my ramblings of this book. Like, I went off on a deep end when I was talking about this book, about, like, what ifs. Like, yes,
I'm so
crazy
excited.
places.
Yeah, so I haven't watched your recent one with that one because I wasn't done with it. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I didn't know if you were going to have spoilers in it. So I wanted to wait, but now I need to go back and watch it.
So, like, that's what I really like about this book, too, is because it's so different, and it's such a talking point because it really makes you think about the mortality issue. Would
Yes.
you make a deal like this, and how would you live? Like, when I was first going through this, and I talked about this in my blog, I was like, how would you live? Like, would you try to steal wood to build yourself a house? Like, how would you buy the land? Like, I went through it on my blog, and I was like, this is all. Like I just was deep into this book's vibes. I went
No,
off on a deep end.
so many complex pieces in this book. The ring just kept coming back, and no, I agree. Like, how would you live in
What
that
did you
moment?
want to do?
Yeah, in that moment, would you have done what she did? Like in the woods, having to get married to someone that you don't want to be married to, feeling trapped. It's very, very Aka Akamath. But would you have taken the deal if if you had been felt if you were in her situation?
If I was that unhappy, probably.
I think I would have taken it too. I can't even imagine like being forced,
Yeah,
like having that feeling that she did. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, and I'm trying to wrap my head around like being that miserable. And I kind of like discussed this in my blog too. Like, you know, those like Harry Potter quizzes you take and you come across the one like I want to be remembered for my accomplishments, and that one has never appealed to me because I didn't really care. But like this made like kind of like showed a different side of that coin of would you want to be remembered and thinking how lonely it would be if you were not remembered and showing that part of it. And I've never
Yeah.
thought about it in that tone. And I'm like, how exhausting it would be to be alone the entire time.
Yeah.
But you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, that's way better.
Sorry.
Um, no, I agree. I think it's interesting that they forgot her like right away. You'd think maybe you'd get like a 24-hour period or something. But I thought that was a very interesting dynamic, like the second, like out of sight, out of mind.
And it's interesting that like this isn't a new topic, right? Like a deal with the devil is done over and over
Mhm.
again. This felt so fresh and new that it's like I, I just am so I want to know what's going on in her brain that she can like do this.
I know. But I mean, when you think of it, like 300 years, he was her only companion. You know what I mean? Is that what you're talking about?
Just
Deal
like
with the
the deal with
devil?
the devil and like how she crafted this entire story, like V.E. Schwab, and like how it's so different versus other deal with
Yeah.
the devil type of books.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, so for this one, kind of like actually sympathize with her. So kind of going back to what you mentioned with like the Darkling in Shadow and Bone. There was like no reason necessarily like for her to they just had an I couldn't see the relationship together. You know, like I don't even remember what the main girl's name was.
Elena,
Is that what it was? Yeah. With like the Darkling. But like with Addie, this is the her only person that remembers her or the only thing or being for 300 years. So obviously she's going to grow some sort of attachment. So it's like you can understand the turmoil she has of like how can you be with him but still hate him kind of thing, you know?
do you think that the darkness gave her Henry to be cruel or to give her some relief?
I think it was cuz he loves her. It's very Beauty and the Beast kind of retelling
I didn't think about it like that.
cuz like that's kind of the same, you know, she's trapped and falls in love with her captor.
Do you think that she loved Henry or she loved the dark or the darkness?
I think she loved the idea that Henry could remember her. I don't think she actually was in love with her. Like I couldn't feel like the
Yeah. Like the
romance,
chemistry.
the chemistry. I couldn't feel the spark between them. Not like when, not like there's just like no passion. Not like when she was with the darkness. There was passion, even if it was hatred. But she still had like she always talked about like she always just went back to him.
Yeah, it was like almost like a sickness.
Yeah.
So Hannah says, I think it was a little bit of both. Like he wanted to give her a reprieve, but also still wanted it to end. So I kind of was thinking that same thing. Is that I think that was like a way to entice her to end it. If Henry was gone, then maybe she would finally give up. And I don't know. Like I thought there was a bit of kindness. I didn't think it was completely evil. Because he could have counteroffered and said, "I'll give you a week," to Henry.
Yeah. Do you think that like he actually would have taken her soul? I don't think he would have done it.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. Because then he would be alone.
Yeah.
But when you take a soul, are you then what's happening? Does he not have access to it then, or like what happens to it? Because I think no matter what, like if he was taking her soul and it was then with him, then he would take it.
Yeah.
Like whatever answer we'll get it to, he's with her always.
Yeah. But I think she dies.
Does she? Because she's not really alive though, and he keeps
Yeah.
saying that like you're not actually human,
That's
you're just
true.
pretending, and
That's
like
that's an interesting point of view. I don't know. That's a good point.
so it depends on what happens when he takes the soul.
I think he would have. He seemed so possessive and didn't truly care about her, but cared about owning her. Yeah, that's an interesting point as well. Yeah, because she mentions that in the book.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
actual love.
yeah, you own possess like you possess objects, not people.
Yeah, and even he said like, "What's the difference?" So
Yeah,
he doesn't grasp it either.
yeah, for sure.
So were you surprised that she said that she would have taken the deal again?
Yeah, because she was like, this time she knew what she was getting into, and I liked that. I loved the ending where she was. The deal was until he's sick of her.
Yeah,
So I have a feeling she's gonna try and make him go crazy.
right. Do you think there's gonna be a second book, or do you think this is a standalone?
I hope
Because that could easily turn into a second book.
it could. It's also really good as a standalone.
It is really good as a standalone.
I like kind of knowing that I don't know. I like not knowing necessarily, but like having an idea.
I don't know. Like I think it would be interesting to see like it's weird to say, but like to see like snippets into it. Like I would want to see like novella esque type of things. If there's like a
Yeah.
little bit to like keep going, or like an epilogue. Like an epilogue would be good in here.
So I think if there is a second one, or if this does turn into a series, I think it should be like years later and like Henry's gone. Because like I think that relationship is done. I don't think we should necessarily bring it back. So
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think it should be like 50 years later or something, or 100 years later.
But I also like so if it would be continuing, I would want it in like novella form or shortened form. I don't
Yeah.
think if you put it into another book, it may spoil it a little bit.
Yeah, this was a really long book. How many pages is it? I mean, the audiobook was like 18 hours long.
It wasn't too bad. 442.
Okay. So Hannah says, I like it as a standalone. I can just imagine what would happen next on my own. Yeah.
I just like would like to see like the little twisted things that she would do to try to get on his nerve though.
Yeah,
Like
that'd be really
undermine his
interesting.
deals, like when he was trying to make other deals, and she would like pop out and try to like counter argue deals, like I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I agree. But I think you're right. I think a full like 500-page book, 400 plus pages would probably be too much and it
Yeah,
would ruin it.
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it could definitely cause like a second book slump.
Yeah, where it's just drawn out a little too much.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I prefer it as a standalone.
Yeah, I think so too. Is there any parts that you didn't like in this book, like that really like like sometimes if you're reading a book and it just like turns you off and you're like, meh.
Mm, no, actually, I really enjoy every time I listened, I was fairly enthralled.
I think for me the only thing is like with it jumping around so much, it kind of took me back that it
The
was jumping around, and so it like I'd be like, what's happening? Did I miss something? Like, where
yeah,
are we? And then I would catch on, but like it took me a minute to reorient myself.
that is true. Yeah, the it was a lot harder to like get into because of the back and forth. Um but oh,
It's
I didn't
growing.
I didn't like her mom, but I don't think she was supposed to be a likable character.
I don't think so either.
So, um it didn't necessarily turn me off of the book because once again it wasn't she's not a likable character.
Yeah,
Um
and I'm all for non-likable characters.
yeah, yeah. Oh, there was one scene that I was like I really don't like this, like the prostitution scene.
That was hard, but it's a very real part of that I'm
Yeah.
like, what would you turn to? Like, especially being a woman in like that historical setting, not having any rights, like not being able to walk outside. And I love that little like tidbit that she mentioned in there about if I was a man, I should have just asked for this coat and I would have had that freedom. And I like loved that nod to the
Mhm.
differences in gender and how much more leeway they get, especially in the historical setting. Um, but just being a different gender, like let her have those rights and no one questioned when she walked down the street.
Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I really loved that part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. But that scene was really hard.
Yeah, but I think it's also like needed to have that grittiness of the explaining how
Hopeless.
they're so bad. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So Hannah says, yes, that part made it feel very real and how hopeless the time was for her and how horrible it could be to be forgotten. Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely like made things real
Yeah,
when
for
you're like
sure.
going through those motions. I don't know if I would be able to do that. And I loved that she like used her wits about her, that she like drugged her people to be able to stay in a room with that. Like that was like her workaround. And I just thought like if she wasn't so smart, she would have like how would you get gotten by without those like wits, you know?
Yeah. No, I love that we saw her struggle and just come to like a certain and that's why like so actually there was this is another reason why I kind of like got put off with Henry well, not put off but like I wasn't too like keen on the relationship is when she steals and he's like but it's wrong and she's like well yes but like if he had been where she was 300 years ago like it was like the
Yeah.
only way for her to survive, you know? So
Well,
I think he was like a little too quick to judge the right and wrong because it's not necessarily black and white. Even though like yes, stealing obviously is bad and lying is bad, but like when you just look at her situation, it's not black and white.
yep. And that part did like throw me off a bit that he was saying that, being like, "Why are
Right.
they stealing?" Like, no. And it's like, yes, I agree that like stealing is bad and you have that moral conduct, but also, what else are you suggesting that she do? You know what I mean? Like, there isn't another option. She tried. It's not
Like
like,
she can't have a job because they don't remember her. How does
yeah,
she make money?
yeah, exactly.
Like she cannot go get hired somewhere because she will like the second they leave they're going to be like why are you here? You don't work here. Like she would never get a paycheck.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I wish she would have explained it a little bit more, being like, I tried doing this. She, like, you know how hard it is to try to rent a room and then them kick you out of that room because they don't remember you? Like, how much money have I lost doing that? This is my
Yeah.
only option. I wish that she would have, like, stood up for herself a little bit more about being like, what am I supposed to do, dude? Like, I'm doing as much as I possibly can right now.
Yeah. Yeah, his curse was a little like, nah. I mean, when you like see Addie's, like I would much rather have his curse than hers.
Oh, yeah.
I
But
mean,
it's
not the
also,
year part, but that sucks. But like having just to be loved, like his curse, yes, it's annoying. And like, how is it that you can find someone that's like really loves you? But like, I would much rather have had his curse than Addie's for sure.
yeah. So having that adoration is like his is a lot easier to digest, right? Like
Bring your
it's
mic a little closer.
y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. So his curse is easier to digest. It's easier to deal with, but it is hard because she can be by herself, right? She can be who she is, and no one remembers her. But also, like no one really knows him, so he kind of has almost the same curse, just in a different flavor because
that's true.
everybody remembers him as what they want, not
That's
who he
true.
actually is. So
And I
that's why she was like, "Well, we've got like a very similar, like we wanted the same thing. We like he reminds me of me." And it's like, yeah. And he's like, no, he was selfish. Like that's he wants to be loved. It's like, no, like that is the same thing of
mhm.
not being remembered, not being
That's
known for
true.
who you are.
That's very true actually. You make a good point. It's a very good
But that's
point.
got way more time, way more loneliness attached to it too.
Yeah, yeah.
But at least like she can or he can walk in a room and people remember who he is. But
I do like how they kind of I love that he um didn't get too put off with like his friends not remembering her and he like took it in stride.
yeah, I agree with that too because I can't imagine how hard that would be. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So you would like if you've exhausted your options, how would you survive if you had that curse?
I have no idea.
Like you'd have
No
to steal,
idea.
right? Like there isn't another regardless because you can't own anything, so everything else that
You
is
you can't even say your name. You have
yeah,
literally no possessions.
yeah. So it's
Nothing.
like you have to steal. That is your only option because
Yeah.
there isn't anything for you to be able to possess.
Yeah, you can't rent, you can't own a house, you can't, especially in, 2014, um you you need some
Yeah.
sort of you need a name.
Well, and that's
So,
just like anywhere. Like even if you were to steal the seeds to grow your own food, right? But then you need plot land, and you're not able to afford like buy the plot land because one, you don't have money, two, you don't have a name, and you don't have, like people don't remember you. So even if you bought it, you still it would be taken from you. So you literally cannot do things legitimately at that point. And it's just
and
like,
yeah, and she can't get a driver's license, she can't get her picture taken.
yeah,
um yeah, it's crazy. I have no idea what I would do.
yeah. Oh, and like when she was visiting her best friend and she was like holding the baby, and I was like, oh no, like I like
That got to me a little bit. That did. Oh, that was rough. Or like her mom, like when she first found out.
I really liked the whole point of it turning into a book for her, though. I
I
really liked
love
that.
that. Yeah, I think it's great.
And I love that like the darkness was like, oh, you're clever, you can have this, but it's like she gets remembered. It's not him. Like there was no author, and I love that part of it
Yeah,
too.
so basically like this whole book, the narrator is
Addie.
um Addie, but it's written by Henry. So I love that. I love that little twist at the end. I think it's fantastic.
And I really like that. Like it's kind of like that on here. Like it's very plain. And so when this first came out, I didn't love this cover because of that.
Oh, I love it.
And
It's
so,
so simplistic, but it's like
but that
it
fits the
goes.
story. Yeah,
Yeah, especially the constellation
yeah,
with her freckles.
yeah. I really like that. Too bad one of
Yeah.
them isn't blue though.
What?
Too bad one of them isn't blue, like in the thing. But I guess that must
Oh
be the story
yeah.
they
Let me
wrote
see.
enough for it. Oh, I loved the painting part of it too. Like that she was able to leave impressions on people, and like
Hmm.
she was that person. Ugh, it was so well done. Yeah.
Yes, really, really, really. Yeah, good book. I agree. A lot of people I was reading reviews and a lot of people were saying this is like the first book that they've read. It's like so refreshing. Um, sometimes when you read so many books of the same thing, it gets to be really redundant. And then this is kind of a breath of just it's different and it was yeah really really good. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, the UK version is pretty.
Well, let me see. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I said I also like how she was in all the songs and art and stuff like that. So she did make her art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I can't imagine having like your lover not remember you and not know that you wrote that song and then like listening to that and being like, oh, I have to go through all these feelings again and you have not a clue about me. And it's like reliving like a breakup in tenfold is
Oh yeah,
horrible.
I would have left as well. Like she ran out of there. I would have ran out of there as
Oh
well.
yeah, yeah. So what would be the upside of her curse? We could read all of those.
I mean, I guess she
If
gets
we stole them.
I was going to say she gets to make her own decisions, but I mean,
Yeah. Isn't that sad though that that's like the uptick of things? Like
yeah. Because if you put her, you know, 100 years in the future, she would have never gotten cursed.
yeah, she wouldn't have had those issues.
Yeah. But
Well, I think that's all the questions I have for this. Do you guys have any lasting questions for Addie LaRue?
yeah.
Also, let us know what you guys rated it. You guys never said what you rated it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to know what everyone rated.
Do you think this will hit your top 5 or 10 best books of the year?
Probably. Probably.
I'm so stoked for next month. Like, well, technically this month, the Kingdom.
Kingdom of the
I've not
Wicked.
heard a thing about the review.
Yeah. No, me neither. Like um Addie LaRue was very much everyone was praising it. But I haven't heard anything about Kingdom of the Wicked.
And I'm sure it's great because it's Carrie Maniscalco.
I actually forgot what the plot is about, to be
Well, it's a whole
honest.
new. It's a whole new series.
Right.
This is the first book in the series.
But like I have no idea what like the plot is about. Okay, so Hannah gave it a 4 star and she really enjoyed it. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a really, really good book.
I am going to just take a quick look and see what Kingdom of the Wicked. I'm not gonna look at any reviews. I'm just gonna look at what the. It's at a 4.17 so far
Oh, that's good.
out of almost 2,000 ratings.
Okay. Okay. Oh. Ooh, that was sinister.
so fast. Yes, yes. Stay tuned for the live show that'll be on my channel for um, what month are we in?
We're
November.
in November, yeah.
Oh god, oh god. Yeah, I'm the same way too. Unless it's like big, I'm like, I'll forget it by then. I read something
Yeah.
else. Well, I'm glad you still decided to join the live show then, Meg.
Yeah.
Yes, Kingdom of the Wicked is next in November at the end of the month ish. With all the holidays, I also am still I work with Barnes and Noble, so that is crazy time for me.
Yeah.
So we'll let you guys know what the actual live date is. Stay tuned. I usually put it in my reading blog, so it'll be in my reading blog for Kingdom of the Wicked, and then we'll announce it on Twitter too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
And depending on when baby's here.
yes, we also have to work around that. I vote you do a baby bump show.
Right now?
Yes.
I don't know if you can really. Okay, I think this.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! I'm so excited, you guys.
Oh, yeah. Just a few weeks.
It's
It's
gonna be fly through.
it's baby month. It's baby month. So basically, we're just
We're on
waiting.
baby watch. Yeah.
We're on baby watch. Yeah. So no, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I need some audiobooks to listen to. Um, because you could be laboring for a while. So,
Girl, you're not gonna be like, let's put on an audiobook during labor. You're gonna be like,
well,
ah,
no, it depends on how long. Like, if
you're gonna be exhausted.
yeah, yeah,
That's gonna take a lot out of your body.
yeah, yeah. You're right. Well, I thought I'll start listening now.
It's a good thought. Yeah. Yeah, the time is going to fly.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then for December, because we've got baby coming, that we are doing a romance for that. So that'll be easy to digest for December
Oh
too.
yes, yes. I forget what's the book that we chose. I am so out of it this year.
And I
Pregnancy
think that
brain.
no, I think that's just 2020.
Yeah.
It's the one on the when you're in the plane. I think it's the same one as fight.
Let me see.
I know what it looks like in my head, but I can't remember the author.
Yeah, I can't remember the I can't remember the
So I pinned it to my thing, and then it got unpinned because I did something else with our update show
Oh,
indulgence.
yeah.
And now I'm confused.
Yeah, cuz I want to we should
Okay,
and
it is Truth, Lies, and Second Dates.
okay. Okay.
But that one is pretty short, and I think it's pretty short.
When does that get
Yeah.
released?
So that'll be for the romance one. That's in December. That'll be easy to fly through.
Yeah.
Pun intended, because it's an airplane book.
Ooh. So it looks like it's been pushed back to getting published on December 15th. That should be fine though, right?
Yeah. Let us know if you guys still want to do that one for December. If not, we can try to find one that's released a little bit earlier. Because I know
Yeah.
that like December gets crazy for holidays, so we may take a look and see if we can find one that's
Yeah, it's going to be available
earlier.
December 15th. Hmm.
How many pages does it say?
320. So it's a good chunk.
So stay tuned for that. We'll let you know next month on the live
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining in, and we will see you next month for this month at the end of this month.
I'm so excited.
Yes. All right. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
Bye.